All right, so I'm back and getting ready to do the next step. So I'm going to make a bit of a mess, but I just wanted to show you what else I have on this workbench, and then we'll go from there. So of course my Sarracenia Purprea right here, and I have some new soil media that I think I'm going to use this time around. So some sphagnum moss, and they're moistened already, so it's wet. Perlite for aeration, and I think I'm going to mixing a little bit of peat moss for a bit of acidity, and clay beads as usual, just to lay these at the bottom for drainage. And I got cocoa coir already moistened. Some of it I would like to use, and new pot. Now I might move this one to this just one pot. It's a bit bigger. It's 4-inch here, and I believe this is 2.5 or 3. I don't know. But if I can divide this plant up, I might want to give that a try. So I have 2 of these right here. Of course, scissors, just to cut off some of the dead pitchers. Mixing fork, some tray, and water. Now, if you know a little bit about how to grow carnivorous plants, you probably know that the water is really important. This is not tap water, even though, believe it or not, New York tap is really good. I still don't want to use tap water. So what I do is to collect rainwater at where I live, and it's in Queens. And yeah, so I normally use rainwater unless say that I can't really get rainwater, then I would resort to distilled water. But you know, up until now, I never had to resort to distilled water. Somehow I have enough reserve, not like I have a huge collection of carnivorous plants to begin with. So I have enough normally rainwater. And I just wanted to show you something else. You might have seen other videos. There are plenty of fantastic videos out there showing you how to measure the purity of water and such. And yeah, I just wanted to show you something interesting. So here's a TDS meter. Pretty reasonably priced. You can get it on Amazon or other places. And so this is the real rainwater collected in Queens, New York. And I will show you what the results would be for this TDS meter. So that means how much of a solid, the substances that are in the water. The lower the number, the better, absolutely. And I am told that any carnivorous plants should be watered with water that is less than 100, whatever the term that may be. I forget it. I will, if I can, I'll put that up on the screen. But less than 100 would be ideal. And here we go. It's measured. What does it say? 10. Just 10. And it's incredible because, you know what, I didn't really expect this. I thought that the water in New York is just, no matter where you get it, would be dirty. So this is really stunning. I mean, I can do this again just to be sure. It's really, really low and very ideal for my carnivorous plants. Well, now it says 11, but you know what, it's close enough. Here we go. You see? So that's what I'm using for water. All right. I just wanted to show this to you because it's really surprising in a good way. So let me put some of the stuff aside so that it doesn't look too crazy crowded on the workbench. And let's just make a bit of a mess with my plants here. All right, so the way I set it up for the winter is this. This is the kind of tray where it catches excess water, and I put these clay beads at the bottom just so that, you know, the roots doesn't get overly damaged. I mean, that was the plan initially. I don't know if it did any good or not because it looks like pretty dead and brown and dry, but I just wanted to keep this pot off of the bottom tray. So I think I did okay. So that's the reason why it looks kind of like this. And this is the original pot. I didn't do anything with this last year because I really wasn't sure if I could even grow it properly. So, but this year I wanted to get this out of this tiny pot and, you know, gradually expand this Sarracenia Purprea, because this one was looking really, really beautiful, and I want to have more of it if I can. So let me just put this. I'm sure some of the pictures are going to come off because these are really dead and not overwintered. Went through the winter dormancy. So, and I know for the fact that I've been keeping the soil somewhat moist, so it's not going to come out all that easy. All right, here we go. Oof, okay. Look at the root structure. And I believe during growing month, these roots are supposed to look pretty white. So I'm a little concerned that they don't look white. I'm hoping they're not completely dead. All right. I wanted to just kind of loosen it to see what else I see. This picture right here is already like tilted. It's about to come off, which is all right. I was going to cut it off anyway. So I'm going to take the dead soil medium. I shouldn't even call this dead, just old, and I don't want it to reuse. So I wanted to remove this. And in order to do that, it's going to take a little while. So I'm going to, again, pause this video. And once I'm done with this, I will, you know, get right back. Okie dokie, so I am back after removing the original soil media, kind of like the way that I did with my mini Phalaenopsis orchid video, by the way. So anyway, it kind of looks like this. There are some roots that seem to be okay, pretty long, and all these pictures are kind of dead. And the way it looks like, this whole thing seems to be just sphagnum moss. I don't know if it's a good thing, bad thing. At least that this plant did very well last summer, so I guess you could get away with just using sphagnum moss, but I'm not going to do that this time around. I'm going to mix it around a little bit. So I'm going to push this aside, not that way, this way, and just let's take a look at the root system a little bit closer, because here's the deal. I wanted to divide it, but the plant itself is so small. I don't know if I should divide this or not, really. Like, there's no natural division that I can make, and most of the pictures are dead anyway. So I just wanted to play safe, I think. I think that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to keep these the roots intact and really not doing anything with it. I'm kind of still looking for a way to divvy this up a little, but I don't think I can. Yeah, I think this is a little too small for me to be doing this. Now, in terms of repotting, cleaning up, or transplanting and all that for Sarracenia plant, now is definitely the good time to do it, coming out of winter dormancy. And I haven't seen any new growth coming out, so I would rather situate this plant in a good pot before it starts growing more brand new pictures. So, okay, I think I know what to do. I'm not going to divvy it up. I'm going to keep it in one pot. So here we go. I'm going to put this aside. first, and I'm going to start setting up a new pot. So I'm only going to be using this one, and the first thing first, I'm going to put some these at the bottom. I don't want to put too many. I think I put too many, so let me just get some of them out. I just wanted to cover the bottom. That's all I wanted to do. I don't want it to put like inch thick layer of these. No. So I think this is all right. So I will set this one aside as well, and let's just get to mixing other stuff. All right. So let me first thing first put sphagnum moss. I chop them up a little bit in small pieces so that it's easier to deal with, and I'm just going to use this much for now, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of peat moss. I don't want it to be too much. Then of course perlite, I'm just sprinkling in. I might adjust it later, and because I can do that, I'm not just too worried about the measurement itself. And then some cocoa coir. Cocoa coir itself really has no nutrients. I mean, that is definitely the key. I mean, you wanted to mix the various soil media with no nutrients in it. You don't want it to use regular potted mix for Sarracenia plants. And so make sure that, you know, all these things has absolutely no fertilizer, no nutrients, no nothing. And so I think this is like a pot full enough of quantities. I'm just going to mix it up and see how I feel, like I normally do. And I will adjust it sort of accordingly. Even though they are still sort of gradually coming out of a winter dormancy, it's going to feel a bit of a shock with new potting media mix. But by the time it gets really warm and the sun gets really strong, I hope it'll be ready to start regrowing. So it's all mixed in, and I feel that I can use a bit more sphagnum moss. So let me see, my hand's a bit dirty, so let me just use the other hand. Just add a little more. Maybe I'll add the entire thing. Okay. And I'll just mix some more. See how I feel. I might be needing more perlite too. It's just the perlite that I have is really, really fine. So they're not like pop rocks kind of. They're real regular perlite. So I feel like I may need to add a little more of perlite. There you go. See how that feels. See if it's substantial enough perlite in it. And make sure that they're all sort of mixed evenly. That's the point. And I can chop off some of the dead pictures, and what I wanted to do is I wanted to just pot them up first, get it situated. Then if I wanted to cut some pictures off, then that's what I'm going to do after. So it looks like, to me, the soil feels good. So I'm going to start putting the potting mix in. And you know what, the roots are kind of long, so maybe I start from here. I mean, I didn't really put that much in, but why don't I just get this Sarracenia back in here. Here we go. Okay. There. And sort of let the roots sit like so. And I'm going to add more soil media on top of some roots. You definitely wanted to put this the middle point in the middle so that it sits in the middle, and they can just the pitches can expand accordingly. The pitches are so dry and flimsy, so it takes a bit of a maneuvering to get this work done, so it seems. Here we go. Just wanted to, I'm looking for the gap to fill, and I kind of wanted to do it in a loose way so that it doesn't pack this pot. Here we go. Making a mess, but it's all right. It'll be all right. My concern is that you know, I might have put this plant in a really harsher winter condition. I mean, this winter has been really cold for us, and even just by putting this plant by the kitchen window with the window being just cracked open, it could have been really harsh. But I hear that these pitchers are really robust, and some of them can be found completely covered under snow, and they're usually fine. So I'm really hoping that I did an okay job. If I didn't tell you this yet, I've not done this before. So this was the first winter that I had this plant to go through winter dormancy. All right, so I think it's kind of straightened all right now. It's a mess all over the place, but here we go. I think it's in good place. Now, question is that how many of these pitchers should I remove? I mean, they all are. None of them are really like worth a while saving. They're all dried up and they're pretty old. And if I even left this by the window longer, and they would all kind of die out anyway. Okay, so let me just clean my hands real quick, and I will come back with the scissors. Okay, so here it is. While I was just wiping off my hands, I just cleaned off the workbench too, just so that it's easier to look at this end result. All right, here we go. I think I can cut off most of it. I don't need to cut all these pictures at the bottom, like really close. I just wanted to leave some there, and I will show you what I mean by that. Look, you know, if I wanted to cut even further later on, I can do it anyway. So I just don't want to take really drastic measure with this trimming. So the first one, I'm just cutting it right here, this much. So this much is left over here. And the next one is this one right next to it. I'm going to chop that off too. So you see, those are the two, and I'm just going to keep going with it. Yeah, you see this tiny one? It never really got anywhere. Sometimes it happens, and this wasn't the first one that grew out. This could have been, say, like 4th or 5th one that came out, and somehow it just got nowhere. And the one after this one was, you know, it turned out to be really huge. This one is like almost falling off, but I don't want it to force it. So I'm still going to cut. This is another really premature one, but I think this could have been towards the end of the season, last season, that it just got too cold too quickly. So it meant to, you know, grow even more, but it just couldn't. That's the way it looks like. So now, sadly, I couldn't really save any of the pictures. I mean, look at these pictures, all kind of, you know, very dried out and shriveled and nothing looking really good. So I had to get rid of it all. So now it kind of looks like, yeah, it's really nothing there. But I'm hoping that the new growth will start to show, and, you know, coming weeks, between 3 weeks to, you know, 4 weeks or so. So I'm going to put this back on my tray now because I want to water it a little bit more thoroughly. So here's the water, and I just wanted to sort of gradually Gradually water until water comes out from the bottom a little bit. Yeah, it's already coming out from the bottom, as you can see. Yeah, and I'm just gonna water a little more. I don't know if I want to bag this or not. I might just to cover the top a little bit until, you know, it's ready to grow again. But anyway, so here is my Sarracenia Purprea subspecies Venosa repotting. And I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you have any comments or any questions, please let me know. And as usual, thank you very much for watching.